I have two problems. I am fat and I am ugly. That's what one of my clients told me the first time I met her. And I asked her, look, I can see you're overweight, but where does the I'm ugly come from? I don't see that. And she didn't know what to say. She was searching, seeking, when did you decide that you are ugly? Because I don't see that. And you see, this is a woman that for years tried to lose weight, tried to become more attractive, tried to become more sexy, tried to become more desirable, to feel more confident. She tried all the exercising, the diets, the calorie counting, the this and that, the paleo. She tried everything, and every time she would get some result, and then she would revert right back into being, feeling the same old way, feeling anxious, feeling socially anxious, and feeling overweight again. And so she struggled for a long time to change. But you know why? Because she was trying to change the form, the substance, the effect, without realizing, without knowing what the true cause is, that identity that she created when she was much younger, that she's not attractive, that she's not good enough, that she's not pretty enough the way she looked. And so when I asked her, when did you create that? And we started working together and we started working on the root cause. We discovered that when she was young, when she was, I believe, 5 or 6 years old, through a series of events and a series of comments that happened, she started to believe that she wasn't attractive. She started to become embarrassed. She started to become very self-conscious. She started to create that identity that she's not pretty enough the way she was. And that just grew over time. Now let me ask you a question. How does a person who truly believes that, who identify with that, treat herself? How does she show up? What is the confidence, the social aspect? How worthy does she feel of the relationship with the friend or looking a certain way and so on? So you see, you can try to lose weight and you can try to do all those things, change everything around you, wear more makeup, Botox fillers, get bigger boobs, change in so many ways. But if you don't change your identity, your body image, what you believe about yourself, how you see yourself at your core subconsciously, it won't matter. And you see, this is something I used to struggle a lot as well. I used to be very shy. I used to believe that I'm too tall. I had all those inhibition linked to my body image, linked to my own identity, who I was and how I saw myself. And today, the number of people who feel insecure, who feel self-conscious, who feel shy, who feel like inadequate about the way they look is off the freaking chart. In recent studies in the UK, over 77% of people report feeling embarrassed, shy, or not looking good enough. And that number goes higher for young teenage girls and women. And so many women on those studies show that they don't feel comfortable or confident enough to go out into the world without looking a certain way or without wearing makeup. What does that tell you? It shows you at the core the inhibition, the anxiety, the need to look a certain way, the need to be in the box, the need to be a certain way in order to feel confident, in order to feel radiant, in order to feel like good enough, in order to feel free. Because otherwise there's all those voices, there's all that worry about what are people going to say about this and that, all that insecurity comes up and holds us back. And so you can try to learn more skills to be socially confident, to be this or that, to speak better, to be more magnetic, whatever the fuck you want to do, right? You can try to overcompensate by having more money, more follower, bigger boobs, looking a certain way, Botox in your face. It doesn't matter if at your core you keep on seeing yourself flawed, imperfect, ugly, unattractive, too much of this, not enough of that. You will keep on feeling the same way. You will keep on feeling lesser than others. I know that because for a long time I used to feel like I'm too tall. I used to be shy, socially anxious, a freaking nerve ball, a mess. The world didn't change. I needed to change my relationship with myself, just like my client needed to drop the freaking belief that I'm ugly, I'm not attractive, I'm too much of this, all of that crap, that story, that belief had to go. If she wanted to change her life, if she wanted to really go back to losing weight and meeting the right guy and having fun and being, confident, feeling free, feeling herself, she couldn't do it from that old place of unworthiness and, being freaking toxic with herself. So in the same way, I had to de-hypnotize myself about I'm too tall and look at my body and be like, you know what a gift. Let me appreciate it. Let me see it as a benefit. Let me see it as something to be proud of. Let me see it as some form of compliment. Because how you choose to see yourself, whether you look at your mirror with no makeup, naked, and you look at your mirror and you be like, you don't like it or you like it, it's entirely up to you. Now I know that the world will show you perfection on Instagram and every ads and everywhere in every movie and so on, they will show you that this is pretty and this is not, and this is what you need to wear and this is not. And there's also a lot of things about being happy in your skin and all that crap, but you need to look beyond the form, beyond the appearances. You need to look at your relationship with yourself. What do you really believe about yourself, and how do you really feel about yourself, about your body, about your personality, about your eyes, about your hair, about your boobs, about your skin, about whatever. And if you don't feel at peace, if you don't feel good about how you see yourself, how you talk to yourself, your relationship with yourself, it won't matter what happens around you. It won't matter what you do around you to get that validation, to get people to like you and so on. You will always default back, because how many people receive compliment and they're unable to accept it? Oh, you look so beautiful today. Oh, just stop it. You know, they're unable to receive that because they don't believe it, because it doesn't match who they are. So you can go on countless diets, you can try all the things you want to feel good and pretty and to fit a certain idea that you want to be, but if that image, that vision in your subconscious doesn't exist, doesn't match, you will remain consistent with the way you see yourself. So how do you break free? How did my client break free? Because she did actually break free and beyond. We had to let go of that idea of what happened when she was young with the dad. Right? So we did a lot of hypnotherapy, we did a lot of healing on that inner child, on those beliefs, and we let that go, and we recondition ourselves, not only through hypnotherapy and certain mind exercise, but also showing up, going and wearing certain things and walking in a certain way and talking to herself in a different way and showing up in the world more congruently. And she completely broke through. Not only she lost weight, but she started to feel more desirable. She started to smile more. She started to wear, makeup in different ways that felt more authentic. And she started dating. And she started creating a new profile. She started putting herself out there. So it's not that it was easy and completely free of fear and all these type of things. She had to relearn to do certain things. She had to break through certain limitations that the mind puts on, the fear barrier. But when you do all those things, and first when you start with that confidence, with that new image of yourself, everything becomes so much easier. But if you continue to believe that I'm ugly, I'm unattractive, or this or that, or too old, too young, too whatever, you will continue to be defined by those limitations. If I had continued to believe that I'm too tall or too this or too that, I would still shrink, I would still hide, I would still avoid being seen, I would still be that social mess. But instead, I choose to change that. Every time somebody will say, oh, you're so tall, or why are you so tall, which happens a lot, I will say, thank you for noticing. So instead of getting awkward, I will reframe that. I will see it as a benefit. I will use it as a compliment, because I choose to see it this way. So it doesn't matter what the world reflects back to you. You have to initiate that first. And when you do that, you can then start to work on the appearance, on the external of all those things that you want to be. But you gotta start at the cause. You gotta start at the most important aspect of who you are, your identity, and how you see yourself. And if you need help on your journey, you can book a one-on-one session down in a comment with me, and together we can help you fast track your progress. Link is down in the description, guys. I will see you next time. Be well.